Thank you, Madam Mayor. As in most of these occasions, my role this evening is very brief. And this evening, it is also bittersweet as Art will be joining the council on the dais here beginning in January. And so this is his last report on behalf of the commission. It's been my pleasure to work with Art over the course of the last almost 7 years now that I've been back over in the Community Development Department. And he's been an outstanding chair for that commission, which is not always an easy task based on the questions that they have to wrangle with. So with that, I will turn it over to Art for his final report to the council as chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you, Bill. It's my valedictory report. So, Madam Mayor, council people. Okay, the purpose of the Planning and Zoning Commission, which is authorized under the Land Use Planning Act, is a little different than most of the commissions that exist within the city. There's a legal component to planning and zoning that doesn't exist on some of the others and is an integral part by law of how the land use planning goes on within our city. The responsibilities are many, and they include preparing and maintaining the city's long-range plans, things like the comprehensive plan and various zoning ordinance documents. We conduct public hearings and advise the City Council on changes in land use regulations and development proposals, which include things such as rezoning, planned unit developments, subdivisions, code amendments, and we conduct other special studies and efforts related to other projects, things like outdoor lighting, large-scale retail ordinances, the LED sign controversy that came up recently. We engage in all of these special projects and provide recommendations to the council on what we find is a good way forward on these issues. Currently, these are the brave citizen volunteers who serve on the commission. There's going to be one vacancy there at the top for sure, possibly another, so I'd like to take this time to encourage citizens who are interested in land use in town to please apply to the city to be a part of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Twice a month we meet, and it's not always easy, but it's a very rewarding bit of service that you can do to the city. So some of our past sample projects, in 2009 we worked for quite a long while on putting together the city's new comprehensive plan under which we're now operating. The Legacy Crossing zoning and design guidelines also put forth in the past few years. We also put together the Southeast Moscow Industrial Park project. It's sitting there languishing for the moment, waiting for both the economy to change and for our associates at the Idaho Department of Transportation to decide where the alignment for the south entrance of US 95 is going to occur. Within the Legacy Crossing, we must have done a good job because it received 2 awards. It received the Idaho Smart Growth and Grow Smart Award for Public Policy and Planning category. Also received the American Planning Association's Idaho Chapter Outstanding Plan Award of Honor. Very, very prestigious awards, and I'd like to acknowledge Bill Belknap for his work and support in all of these projects, because couldn't have done it without him even nearly. Really good stuff. Currently, and most recently, we've involved ourselves in various code updates to enable densification of town and development, twin home and townhouse amendments, which are a step beyond the traditional condominium development because you actually own the ground underneath of your residence, which certainly facilitates financing. Reworked some of the daycare facility standards and have initiated projects on accessory structure standards, which has actually been passed, the ability to construct other buildings, structures on one's property, and done other reviewing of planning-related matters. So we've done the urban agriculture project, well received, and due to Moscow's exclusive nature of zoning, if it wasn't in the zoning code, you couldn't actually grow some of the vegetable gardens that people like to grow. So with this amendment, people can now better produce and participate in the farmers market, for example, in producing produce on their own land within the city boundaries. Also, we're working on the US 95 Thorn Creek. Where the heck is it going to come into South Moscow, please? Area of city impact review. Negotiations with the county commissioners are in progress. This is an important area that surrounds the city, and allows the city to grow in a planned and organized fashion. And currently, the city is bumping up against county in a few places without benefit of that area of city impact. And it definitely needs to be adjusted a little bit to accommodate the city's orderly growth. Accessory dwelling units, otherwise known as mother-in-law units, we are working on that to enable people in town who may be elderly to live in their own house for a longer time through the development of an accessory dwelling unit in which they can have someone else live at reduced rates or something for help with lawn mowing, snow shoveling, things like that. At the same time, provide some additional housing for people. It's a really good project. There's some more details that need to be taken care of, but I think it's really, really a good thing. And of course, the Unified Code Project, and this is the update of the city's land use and development regulations, the zoning codes, that would enable the full implementation of the 2009 comprehensive plan. We have a lot of unique items in that comprehensive plan, and currently getting them enacted as is without having to go through some various legislative hoops is difficult. But when this code project is finished, hopefully by later in the spring, it'll all be part of the city's codes, and developers will have predictivity and be able to just sail right through and put up their developments nicely. So that's what the P&Z is up to at the moment. And what we hope to get done here, as I indicated earlier, is the area of city impact, get that renegotiation reviewed with the county commissioners in a way that is beneficial for both the county and the city to help both of our growths. The accessory dwelling unit project, a few more details, and that one will be ready to go to press. The North Main zoning review. Is everything out on North Main doing what it's supposed to do? Is it functioning well? We've done some rezoning along the east side of North Main to enable some redevelopment work in that area, changing it from motor business to R4, and you can already see things happening up there with at least 3 lots being changed from broken down housing into multi-unit apartment buildings. Really nice, seems to be really successful. And we're going to continue that on up and down Main Street. And of course, the Unified Code Project that I already alluded to. And that is what we are up to over at Planning and Zoning, and I know things are going to go forward very well in the future, even with me moving up to the greener pastures and the easier, cushy seats up here with the City Council. Any questions, ladies and
Thank you,
gentlemen?
Art. Well done. Thank you for, what, 10 years of service?
Yeah,
Is that
10
right?
years, a decade.
Appreciate that. Very good. Council members have any questions or comments for Art? Walter?
Art, did I understand you to say where US 95 will come into South Moscow? I would add when.
Oh, implicit in the question, it would be good, yes.
Okay. Other comments or questions?
Okay, great.
Thank you. Appreciate your report. Please convey our, and please convey our appreciation to your colleagues on the Planning and Zoning Commission.